And I think, yes, we are live. So today I'm going to write some backend functionality for this StackOverflow website. So we will focus on authentication so we can log in, log out user and register, and maybe also leave a question here so it will be stored in the database. For now we have only this React frontend part, and the structure looks like this. So first I want to clean up some code in app.js because it has a lot of styling here. So I will move those global styles first. So I see this thing is not used, so I can remove it, and now I will add some global styles here. Let's new file, global styles.js. So I can move everything all those styles like this, and it's named global styles. So export default global styles, yes, and create global style has been imported automatically. So now back to our app.js, we can remove this part because it's not used. And here we need to import global styles. So here it has been imported automatically. So now let's see. Okay, we have this. So I hope this still works. Yes. So now we will create some backend. And first thing, we will stop this React server. And so this doesn't work anymore. And now we will move everything to a separate folder or directory called client, and here we will put all the React code or front end of our application. Okay, that was not smart of me, but yes, then we will create API directory where we will use expressjs and mysql to do some backend stuff like login, registering users. So let's call it API, and let's make our front working again. So let's cd and client yarn start. Now this should work again. And on another tab in our terminal, let's go to API and let's add some packages. We will need express, we will need body parser, and most likely cookie parser, and the JSON web token, and is it JSON web token, or yes, JSON web token, and that will be it. Okay, that was quick. So here inside API we'll create index.js. So as you can see, here we have React app, this front part, and here in API we will create backend for our application. So let's start. First we want to use ES6 imports, so here I will add type to module so we can use ES6 imports. And here let's do import express from express, and now const app is express, and port will be this, so we can test our app. And then let's do some test route here. Request response and response send test, and the last part will be app listen on this port, and when it's done, let's console log listening on port. So now we can do node index.js, but I have previously installed nodemon, and the difference is that nodemon will automatically restart the server every time I change something in the code here. That's why I will use nodemon index.js, and it's listening on port 3030. So new tab 3030, and we say test. Alright, the next thing is that we want to create a login button here. So if we go back to client, source, header, here, profile link, it's my name here, and we need to change it. So to know what user is logged in, we need to use reactJs, and the user context will be available inside the whole app. So I need to go back to our app.js, and here I will need to import create context, I think it was called, from React. And now const, let's name it user context as create context, and the default will be null. Now we will need also some information inside this context, so we will use state for this, and let's do like this. What type of information we will store there? User. So user set user is use state null as a default value, initial value, yes. So here inside our app we will do user context provider, and we will put everything inside it, and let's see what will happen. Value user, and we have an error. Let's check my so this needs to be moved outside our app like this, and provider with capital T, and let's rename user context with also capital U and see if it works. Yes, now it works. So the problem was only capital P here. Alright, so we have our user here. Let me just check. Count context. Okay, we need to put user context as a separate component. So here, let's create directory. No, we'll just have one context. So file user context.js. So now let's import create context from React, and user context equals, or I can copy just this one, export the default user context, So now we can remove this and create context part, but we still need user context. So if I do like this, then it has been imported here. Alright, let's see if it works. Yes, it does. So now let's go to our header and replace this with actual username that we don't have. So we will use the same context here. So we will need to import UseContext from React. So here user we just quickly check it. Okay, so it returns the value. So we can do this const user equals use context user context, and this has been automatically imported. Yes. So here we have some user information. Actually, as you can see, we pass an object and one part of it is a user. So we need to do like this. And here, if we have user, then we can show this link. Otherwise, we can write login. Yeah, and we have login here. Now let's do login stuff. So this profile link is actually a tag. So we need to change it to an actual link. We use links here already, so let's replace it with link. And if we are logged in, the link will be to profile, and if we are logged in, the link will be to login page. And we don't have any of those pages, so let's go to our app.js, and as you can see, we don't have login page or even profile page. So now I will create a login page. Here, yeah, just login page first, and function login page, export default login page, and here we will return some empty stuff like login, just a simple text. So here we need to add a new route for /login. We'll use login page, and it has been automatically imported. If your IDE is not importing it, you need to write this part. Okay, so now if I click this doesn't work. Let's see why. In our header, oh, I forgot to replace ref to 2. Now it should work. Yes, it does. So let's go to our login page and let's style the login page. We can style by ourselves. So I will take an example from other pages. Ask page, maybe. We have header 1. We can use. It has been automatically imported as always. Login. Yes. And we have also container here. I will just copy this part. Style has been imported from style components here, as you can see. And now let's use container and let's put this header inside it. Yeah, so we have some paddings. So now we can go to the start page, ask question and login. Alright, and so now we will need some inputs, and I know that we have inputs in our ask question page, so we can use the same styling. So if we go to ask page, we can copy this part. It should be copied by, but yeah, let's do this by the book, and let's create a component called input.js, lowercase n, and let's do styled input here, export default styled input. And let's rename it to just input, same as the file name. So if we go back to ask page, we can remove this part and do just input. It has not been imported. We need to do this manually. Okay. Import input from input.js. Yeah, it works, I guess. And on our login page, we can also use this input. Yeah, now it has been imported. So let's see in our login page. Yes, it works. Yes, so let's add some stuff here. Placeholder will be email, and the type will be email, and we need also password. We could actually do like this. It doesn't matter. Let's test it. Yes. And we will need also a button that we also have on our ask page, this button. So it's called blue button, and it's already in a separate component, so that's good. So let's just use it, blue button. Yeah, it has been imported here. So now let's check it. Let's name it login. Let's make it bigger. Font size 2.1 rem. Okay, 2.1. Right. Some more padding from on the sides. Alright, this will work. So now we want our React app to look with our backend. So let's go back to login page, and here we will use Axios. It's a library to send HTTP requests. So I need to first cd to client, and then yarn add Axios. So to use it, it's very popular. This is how we use it, super easy. All right. So import Axios from Axios, and now let's create a function, send login request. Or let's make by the book. So let's import from the React. We need to import the component from React. Yeah, I misspelled from. And class login page extends component, and here we will have render method. And I hope this still works. Yes, it does. And here we'll create another method called send login. Or maybe just login. And here we will do Axios post request to HTTP localhost 3030. And here we will, let's name it login. And what data we will send, it will be user and password. So first we need to have user and password, and to get it we need to add the construct and this state will be username, and password will be also empty. And let's set it here. Now we need to, let's change to email. Back to email, value email, this state email, value this state password. Now those inputs will not work. That's good. Now let's add on change. Maybe yes, I can do this. On the change we get event, and from this event we will do this set state, and we'll set email to event target value. This will should make this work. No, it does not. Event target value. This stayed email. Oh, I misspelled change. Okay, no. Yeah, now it works. Let's remove this test. And let's add the same for password. So here it will be password. So now we can write both here and here. And now we can send the login request. We can just so the email will be this state email and the password will be this state password. Alright, we could actually send just the whole state, but let's make it clean. Now let's see what will happen if we click login, if it works. Test at example.com, and here let's try test. Clean. Nothing happens because we don't have any on click action here. On click this login. Now let's clean. Test at example.com and test. Now it works. We got course error. Alright, so now we need to go back to our backend, and in here we will write get not a post route for login. So we can close this one and open API, and let's add a route app post login /login, and here request and resource response. All right. First we will need also install course middleware. So let's go to the API and yarn add course. And let's import course from course. And here we'll app use course. Yeah. And let's see if we still get this course error. No, we don't. Okay. Now we need to handle login. So we need to parse body. So we will import our body parser. And let's also import cookie parser. And app use body parser. JSON. And body parser URL encoded. And here we don't have any extra parameters that we need to add. I don't exactly know what it does, but it helps somehow. Alright, so in our login we need to get email that we have in the request body email. Or we can actually do like this: email and password comes from the body. Now we need to check email and password. For now we will not use the database, and we will just check it manually here. So is login okay equals email is test@example.com and password is test. This is just temporary solution. So if the login is okay, we will sign a JSON web token. So let's import JSON web token from JSON web token. For tokens we will need to create a secret key. Let's just, for the value, let's do secret 123. And here we will do JSON web token sign. First the payload. So the payload will be email, and then a secret, and then let's check JSON web token. Sign. We have function, error, and token. So let's try it. So if there's an error, then we want to send it in the response. Status (422) is okay. Access denied. For free. Okay. And let's send error. Yeah, why not? Otherwise, we will send the token. Response send as a JSON. Token. That will be it. So now let's check what will happen if we do test1 at example.com. Test. Okay, we doesn't use is login okay. So here we need to use it is login okay, and then we sign it. If the login is not okay, like this. If is login okay, if the login is not okay, response send also for free, send login not okay. And let's try it again. Yeah, for free. Let's see what it says. Forbidden. Alright. We probably don't need to send anybody here because it will not be used anywhere. Alright, so let's try with just test and let's see if it works. Yes. Login, and we have token here. Alright, so now let's send a cookie with the token instead of putting it like this. So let's check cookie parser. Set cookie. Do we use cookie parser? No, not yet. App use cookie parser. Express send cookie. So to send cookie we just need to response cookie. Okay, let's try it. Response cookie name value. So the name will be token and the value will be token. That's it. And let's try to log in. to end it with send. And now let's clean this and test at example.com, and here test. In our response we have token. So if we change something it will fail, but let's see if it sends our cookie. No, it does not. Request cookie. Let's clean cookies first, or let's check here. No cookies here. Options, HTTP only. Let's set it to false. Test example.com, test. Let's check network, and we got an error. 4 or 3 forbidden. We have misspelled example. Test example. Request, and in the response we have cookie. So let's go to our application. Okay, so now we need to save this cookie. But I don't know why. How? Save cookie from Ajax response. Yeah, it should just work. Let's see why it doesn't test. Okay, so in our login method we do have set cookie. So now we should send it. But we don't. Let's send here our cookies. JSON res cookies request cookies. No, not here. I meant here. Okay, we don't have Let's check why we don't do it. Alright, so we need to add this with credentials thing. So let's go back to our client, source, login page, and here we'll add this with credentials true. And now let's check if we send something. Test at example.com. Test. We should get a cookie. In the response, here, response wait a second, login. Okay, we got course error. That's weird. Let's try again. Test at example.com. Test. Yeah, we got course error. Do we use course? Yes. Maybe let's put it on the bottom here. Maybe I just forgot to send it. We still got this error. What if I were to just resource send? Okay. Okay, we still got course errors. I think we need another one here. No, we have everything. Get ahead, posted it. Let's check console. Must not be the wildcard when the request credentials mode is included. Okay, the credential mode of the request. Okay, let's check how to use course. It needs to have some options, right? Course options here. Yeah, easy. Origin, HTTP, localhost, 3000. Now let's clean. Let's check network. Do we need slash at the end? Maybe it should be 3030. No. Okay, let's check what the error says. Okay, it needs to be 3030. And I will just copy this one. And it's the files. Has been blocked by policy. Here, pref line. Okay, I think we need to set this thing to true, and we probably don't need this thing. Let's try again. Stay errors. Credentials configures. Okay. We need this thing back. And the access control allowed origin header has a value that is not equal to the supplied origin. The origin should be 3000, right? Oh, I think it works. Yes, it does. So now let's go back to our cookie. Status for free and just send. Now let's check it. Test example.com and test login. Here we should get our cookie in response. Yeah, we have token here. And if we do some failed logins, I hope the cookie is sent request. Yes, the cookie is sent. So on our login page, Now we can check if someone is logged in. So let's create also app-get profile. Request to response. So we have token inside the response request cookies token, and we need to verify it. So we'll use JSON web token to verify it. And here we pass token. Here will be secret. And here will be the callback function. The first is as always error, and then we have data. So if there is an error, then we want to send it as a response. Status for free, and let's send just for free. Else response JSON data and send. So now if we go to our app in client directory, we can check if there's any user logged in here. So first we will need to import axios. Then I want also to change this functional component to class component. So I will add here component and class app extends component, and I need to put everything inside render. No, I don't need to. Let's go back here. I can just like this. And let auth is being checked is true, and axios get http localhost 3030 profile with credentials to true, then we will do first. I will change this auth is being checked to something else, and I will state for this const checking auth and set checking auth is use state to true as a default because we will check it immediately. Alright, then we get the information from here. So I will just console log it for now. Response, and then let's set it to false. And if something goes wrong, catch. And not something goes wrong. If the user is not logged in, then response set checking out to false. Alright, and let's see. It's sending requests with every render, and we don't need this. So we'll use also effect. Use effect, and we'll put this callback here, and here the important part is this. So I hope it will be rendered only. It will be, yeah, only one request, and it's 200, and we have data. That is this email. So we can do like this. Set user email response data. If it's not logged in, set user to null. We don't need response here. So here in our header we can show if someone is logged in or not. Alright, so here we can do user.email. It's not pretty, but it works. So now let's delete this cookie and refresh, and we are not logged in. But if we go here, we can log in. This one will not work, but this one does. We have cookie, but this whole thing is not refreshed or re-rendered. So let's go to our app.js. And let's not complicate it too much, so I will remove this set checking off here, and we need to render after login. So if someone logs in successfully, we need to refresh the user. So to refresh the user, we need to check off again. So the first thing is that we will create a function called check off, and we'll take it here. we'll call it here. And we will also pass it here. So in our header, now in our login page, if someone logs in successfully, then we will use our state that we don't have here. So it's not state, user context. And we use state too, because the context needs to be no, let's do like this. Use context. And let's check how to use context in another method, React. This context, okay, that was easy. Context type. Okay, that was quick Googling. Login page, context type, user context, and this context. How was it called? Check off. Check off. So now let's remove this token, refresh. We are not logged in. Test at example.com. Let's try with this one. Test. Nothing happens. If I remove this one, yeah, we are logged in. So this will be all for today. And tomorrow or the next time, I will update this part. So we will use database for authentication, and we will save users and passwords in the database. So if you want to see it, subscribe, and if you liked this coding session, please leave a like or a comment or something. Thanks for today, and see you next time.